Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I have a pretty good update for you guys today. One, I'm not sitting in my sewing room, and I'm not sure why. I'm just not today. Wasn't feeling the sewing room today. So I always say this, but I am going to make this video quick because I've got food on the brain and I'm really hungry. So that's a little bit more motivation than other things could be. So won't be very long, but I wanted to give you guys an update because I had my infertility consultation today, and I learned a lot of things, or I guess not new information, but I learned what's going on with my body and why I'm not ovulating or getting pregnant or all of the above. So just gonna jump right into it. If you're new to my channel, I do a lot of TTC videos, some lifestyle videos, but mainly trying to conceive. And I have very irregular cycles. So I'm actually on my cycle right now, which is awesome, which tells me that my hormones are trying to balance. But up to this point, I went off birth control in August of 2018, so last year. And I had a 198-day cycle, which I counted up before going to the doctor. And my most recent cycle was 42 days, so way more regular than my previous one, which is awesome, but still not regular and still not ovulating. So that's that. So I had set up an appointment for April 1st with a doctor that was recommended by a bunch of my friends. They really like him. They've used him for their babies, that kind of stuff. So I was so excited. It was a long time coming. I had this appointment scheduled for like 2 months. So I had all my questions ready and just ready to figure something out and come up with a game plan on what we're going to do. So my appointment was actually for Monday because I'm off on Sundays and Mondays. So I go into the doctor's office like 20 minutes early, fill out all the paperwork I need to do because I'm new to that network. And the office that I was at was really all they see is pregnant people or people trying to get pregnant or anything to do with women and babies. So I check in, I sit down, 20 minutes goes by, I'm like, oh, that's weird, he must be running late, like typical doctor, it happens all the time kind of thing. So then I'm sitting fairly close to the receptionist, and I hear her tell the other receptionist that my doctor was just called into the hospital for a delivery, which when you're going to see an OB, like you're at their mercy. They're obviously going to have deliveries they're going to have to go to, but you just like never think it's going to be during your doctor's appointment. So when I heard that, I was so disappointed. I was like, no, I didn't hear that. That's not real. Well, then she's like, Mackenzie, and I went up there and she was like, I'm really sorry, but your doctor just got called to the hospital for a delivery, so we're going to have to reschedule. And I literally felt like I got punched in the stomach. I was like, okay, like trying to hold back all my tears. And I think she saw that and she was like, oh, well, let me see what I can do. And long story short, there was another doctor, which was actually my doctor's nurse practitioner, that she said is the infertility guru. She was like, let me see if I can get you in with her tomorrow, which is today, Tuesday. And so like I stood there and they were like messaging each other back and forth. I got in today at 9:30. But I will tell you, like, I totally understood the circumstances and I was very appreciative I could get in the next day. But the second I got down the elevator and out of those doors, I started bawling, like crying uncontrollably. And I have not cried like that probably since my dad passed away, like sobbing, crying. So I called Jerry and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is never going to work. Blah, blah, blah. And of course, the voice of reason, he was like, it happens for a reason. You never know. She might, your doctor you're going to see tomorrow might be the best thing ever. So I went in today, checked in, everything was good. Went back, went over a few things with her nurse or whatever about any procedures that I've had done, all that kind of stuff. And then she came in and she is absolutely incredible. Like, so educated. yeah, she was just totally awesome. She was like right to the point. She was like, look, we're going to get this figured out. Like she got out her notepad and was like jotting down basically all the notes that I had for myself already, timelines of things when I started taking supplements. And she was just, she listened. And that was really, really relieving to me because you never know what's going to happen when you go in and meet a new doctor for the first time. So that was really cool. So, like after I told her how long my cycles had been, side note really quick, had I not done a bunch of research and watched a crap ton of YouTube videos, this appointment would have gone completely different. But I went into the appointment educated, for the most part, understanding the possibilities of what like diagnosis I could have or the outcomes of what she would say might happen. So that was very helpful. So if I have one tip for anyone who is going into a fertility consultation or infertility consultation for the first time, do your research. Like really listen to your body, see what your symptoms are, see what the issues you're having are, research them, look at the the options, so that way you're not like completely blindsided by something that you don't want to hear about. Because had I not done all the research and been prepared for what was going to be told to me, it would have been so disappointing and I would have hit like a whole different low. But since I had watched a bunch of stuff and pretty well already like self-diagnosed, it wasn't as near of an issue as it could have been. So back to it. So she was going over a bunch of different things, like asking me some stuff. I told her about some symptoms I was having since getting off birth control. For me in particular, like weight gain, acne. I get it really bad on like my lower face, under my chin especially. I've been losing a lot more hair. Like I always shed. I have long hair, but it just seems way more thin since I got off birth control. Irregular periods, that was one thing. Haven't had a positive ovulation test with the exception of 2 days after I had food poisoning. So I didn't even count that. So while I was there, she was like, okay, do you mind if we do a TMI? Which you're watching a TTC video, so that's not even a question. She's like, can we do a transvaginal ultrasound while you're here? I was like, sure, like I'm on my period, but by all means, please do. She was like, because I think I know what it is, and I suspect it being PCOS, but I want to confirm it with an ultrasound, and then I'll have some blood tests done too. But she was like, if I see what I think I'm going to see, I know it's PCOS. So sure enough, did the ultrasound, and almost immediately she's like, yep, exactly what I thought it was. And I was like, PCOS? She's like, yep. She was like, but don't let that freak you out, because what I'm seeing is you have very large ovaries, and you have like strings, is how she said it, strings of follicles. She was like, so having follicles is a good thing. She was like, now the integrity of them and the quality, I'm not sure yet, which we will test for that at some point too, but you have them and that's a good thing. She was like, basically what's going on is your body's hormones are totally out of whack and totally unbalanced, that your body doesn't know when to release those eggs, and it's just not ovulating. So she was like, first things first, we need to balance your hormones, do some tests. So what she prescribed me was Metformin, which, if you guys aren't familiar, Metformin is given to 2 types of people in this world, basically, is what I've been saying. 1, people with type 2 diabetes, and 2, women with PCOS. So what it does, to my knowledge, is it works with like it helps combat insulin resistance. So women with PCOS sometimes, not always, but sometimes have issues with insulin resistance, and basically your body figuring out what to do with the food that you're taking in. And instead of turning it into energy, a lot of times it will just store it as fat because it doesn't know what to do with that food that you take in. So makes sense for the weight gain, right? So she said, this is what we're going to do. You're going to take Metformin once a day for 7 days, then twice a day for 7 days, and then 3 times a day, indefinitely through April and May. She was like, if it does not regulate your cycle, after April and May and you're not getting a positive ovulation test at that point, then we will move forward and probably go to Clomid. So that's a whole different ball game. But right now I'll be taking Metformin. I'm a little bit nervous because I have read and heard about some of the side effects, and it's a lot of GI tract stuff. So nausea, vomiting, the runs, which is no fun. So I'm hoping that easing into it will help take some of those side effects down, but we will see. She said I need to eat or take them while I eat since it's like an insulin thing. So that's where I'm at. There's a plan in place and I am so thankful for that. I've just basically waited for a medical professional to tell me that I have PCOS. One, to validate what I feel like I already know, and two, to check that off the list so we can move forward. That was my biggest thing. Like, I know there's something wrong with me. Like, tell me what it is and tell me how we fix it, because I'm ready to get this show on the road. So that's it for now. Gonna be on Metformin. I have PCOS, and hopefully this works. So that's really all I have. I also took all of my like supplements that I'm taking to her and asked what she recommended I cut out or take, and all of them were good for the most part. So I'll continue to take those. I'll take my Metformin, and we will see how it goes. So take that through April and May. I'm crossing my fingers that it works. She said sometimes people women with PCOS comes in here. They start taking Metformin, it regulates them enough where they ovulate and they get pregnant. So she's like, I hope that's how it's going to be for you. If not, we've got other things that we can do. But she was totally awesome, and I'm just so happy that there is a plan and that something is being done. Just a good feeling. It's a crappy feeling because it's like, I don't like that there's something wrong with my body and my body isn't doing what it's supposed to be doing. But at the same time, I'm like, oh, thank you for giving me something to do, because all I've been doing is watching YouTube videos. And yeah. Also, another kind of like sad, frustrating thing, my eyebrows are crazy, is, the office I was sitting in, like, I can't tell you how many like pregnant women were coming in for just their like checkups or ultrasounds or something. And then you see like, and this is so judgmental, but at this point, like, I don't even care. Like, you see people that you can tell don't have their life together and like don't have like, if you're wearing clothes that have holes all over them, and I'm not talking like the cute jeans with holes, I'm talking like legitimate holes, and you look like you haven't washed your clothes in 2 weeks, and you have half black and half bright green hair, and your boyfriend's got like so many piercings in his face, like more than I do, and I have a lot of piercings, and he's got like a cigarette in his ear, like, ugh. Like, I can tell that was not planned, and if it was, you're making a mistake, because you don't even have yourself collected. And yet, you can get pregnant, but I can't. Like, what? So that was a little frustrating. I mean, I saw a bunch like cute moms, and I was just very envious. But it was okay. But then you see that, and you're like, you gotta be kidding me. Like, you don't even have proper grammar. Like, I can't understand a thing you're trying to say to the receptionist. I can't imagine how she feels. Ugh. So judgmental, and I'm sorry, but just the straight truth. All these people getting pregnant that aren't ready for kids, and I'm like, about yesterday I was ready to be pregnant already. Ain't happening. But anyways, this video is almost 15 minutes long. Again, I say it's going to be fast, and I'm hungry. So that's my update. So we will continue. I will continue testing. I will continue baby dancing with my husband, and gonna use the pre-seed. I've made a review on that, so I liked it the first time, but it's like when you don't know when you're ovulating, like, you don't know if it's gonna work, and well, I haven't been ovulating, so it's not gonna work. But anyways, that's that. Thank you guys for watching. I'm sorry this wasn't too great. I will definitely post a video on my first week or first 2 weeks on metformin next week. So I'll be pretty upfront about that. If I have any kind of side effects or something, I won't hide it at all. So that's it for now. Subscribe to my channel if you want to continue watching these kind of videos. And if you have any questions or comments, or you have taken metformin before and have a good or bad experience with it, let me know down in the comments. I am very interested to know that. I'll be probably searching for YouTube videos regarding PCOS and metformin for the next 5 hours. So anyways, happy Tuesday. When I upload this, it might be Wednesday. Who knows? I uploaded it when I'm sleeping. So anyways, thanks guys, and I will see you next week.